Jake, Taylor versus Serrano is a truly historic matchup. Do you think you get enough credit for putting together the biggest fight in women's boxing history?
Uh, I don't know. I don't really care about the credit, to be honest. I'm just excited to help Amanda get a massive payday and help her unify this weight division, and excited for her to be on this massive platform. So I really don't need any credit, and any credit that is given, I appreciate it.
Now, your relationship with Amanda, what have you learned from her as a fighter and as a human being as your relationship has grown from fighter promoter to a true friendship?
I think it's cool to see how hard she works, and she sort of reminds me all the time, like, that you don't need to always be on your phone, because she doesn't even have a phone. She's always living in the present moment. So it's really cool to see that, and because of that, she takes boxing training so seriously and is doing it 24/7. So it's inspiring, and she inspires me to put the phone down sometimes and get off of social media. I think just it's a good life lesson. The generation we live in now, there's just so much consumption of media, and people are just glued to their phones and technology 24/7. So I think everyone should put their phones down more.
There's always been a bit debate about 2 versus 3 minute rounds in women's boxing. You've already helped establish there it's going to be 7 figures for this fight. Do you see a way in which the minutes of the fight can change? And in your opinion, how?
Look, I think it's just the ladies wanting to do it, and Amanda Serrano wants to do it. And my argument to the promoters and to the media companies is going to be like, hey, pay Amanda Serrano more, because she's fighting for essentially 12 more minutes. So, if she moves up to 3-minute rounds for 12 rounds, she should get paid more for that. So, yeah, it'd be cool to be a part of that and be a part of the negotiations and get her an even bigger payday, and for her to be the first female to do that.
Knowing how powerful she is in the ring, do you think it would benefit her more, or do you think that she has what it takes 2 or 3 minute rounds?
Yeah, I think it would benefit her more because their opponents will get less of a break, and she'll have more time to attack. And if you give a shark more time to swim around in the water and hunt their fish and their prey, they're gonna do more damage.
Now, do you have any interest in becoming a permanent promoter in the sport? I know that you're with Most Valuable Promotions and with what you're doing with Serrano. Is there any opportunity for you to do more?
Yeah, I'll always be involved in this sport. I love this sport. I love being a part of it. I hope to have kids one day that will be boxers. So yeah, we're growing the company. Most Valuable Promotions. We just signed Ashton Silva, H2O, young prospect out of Long Beach, California. He's 7-0 with 7 KOs. He's an electric fighter. He's a superstar. So we're growing the business and just creating that bigger footprint in this sport.
Now, switching gears for a quick second, Tommy Fury won his last fight this past weekend and called you out. Thoughts on his performance, and would you take a fight against him?
Yeah, it was a mediocre performance against a subpar opponent. They both look like idiots, and he doesn't really know how to fight. He looks like a novice. The fight with him is interesting, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of names on the table, and he's not a very good promoter. And at the end of the day, this is a business, so he has to be able to bring that promotional value to the fight, and he hasn't shown and proven that he could do that.
Now, you fought in Cleveland. You've also fought in Florida. Would you take a fight if you were to face him and test yourself across the pond to show your star power outside of the U.S.?
100%. Yeah, I'll fight anybody, anywhere. It doesn't matter to me. Wherever they want to get their knocked the out, um, I'll do that wherever. And my first fight was in Manchester, so I'm used to fighting, with an opposing crowd and in front of 30,000 crazy UK fans.
And are you also scouting Anderson Silva with his upcoming fight taking place?
Yeah, look, he's on the list as well, and it's an interesting fight. He has a big name, so I want to see how he performs here in a couple of weeks, and see how these other discussions progress, and take it from there.
Now, Francis Ngannou came out after Tyson Fury's fight to promote a match against him. Would you consider promoting Ngannou in a potential Fury fight?
Yeah, I'd be down. That would be cool. Hopefully he can get out of his contract with the UFC to actually make that fight happen. Um, and obviously that's a super mega fight. So would love to help him promote it. Why not?
Now, you've been involved in back and forth with Dana White for some time now. Like we said before, Taylor and Serrano are making seven figures for their fight, something unheard of before. What are your plans when it comes to pushing for equal fighter pay in combat sports?
Look, I think it's continuing to use my platform to speak upon it and encouraging other fighters like Francis Ngannou, who's spoken about it, and using our platform to grow that movement. And then, you know, taking action myself with paying fighters more in the sport of boxing. Um, and, eventually, there's talks of a fighter union going on. And I think that's where fighters need to go. I think that's the only way to sort of take back control, and to put the power back into the fighters' hands, because that's not the way it is right now.
And would you be one of the key figures in order to start one of those unions?
Yeah, for sure. I think that'd be like part of my life's work. It's a big undertaking financially and time wise, and it's not easy to do. And, a lot of fighters are just selfish. They have egos and they don't really want to help the next person. So it's a little bit more difficult to convince everyone to be a part of that. But it'd be historic. And I think it's definitely possible over the next couple of years, or maybe even the next decade. It might take some time.